Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of my Minecraft Xbox One Survival Let's Play. Starting the episode off here because I feel like this is a good point to get the episode off to a ball. So it looks like I've got an iron golem running around the world, which I just walked up to, and he two-tapped me. Wasn't really expecting him to kill me. It looks like I may have pissed off an iron golem at some point. And it looks like my bed's broken as well, which makes this even more fun trying to get back. So, yeah, my spawn point, for those of you who don't know, isn't actually within my town itself. It's off to the side somewhere, right by my very, very original base that we have out here. Looks like another glitchy spot right there. You can kind of have a good view of all that stuff down there that we have yet to explore, which is really cool. I do want to find that mine shaft, though, because I feel like that might have some good stuff in it. And there's a ravine over there as well. Did notice this glitch the other day as well. But I may have left some copyrighted music on in the background, so I did have to pull that video down. But that's fine. So, let's see if I've got any food still at my original base so I can head back, because I've got 5 minutes before I lose all my stuff, which is really not cool. And I'm actually on the far side of the area as well. We've got some melons in there. Grab the melons and let's go. Okay, so, we need to hit the bridge and we need to run very quickly, because, yeah, I don't want my stuff despawning. I had all the stuff in my inventory that I was going to use for the episode, which is a little bit frustrating. Essentially, what we're going to be doing this episode is we're going to head out to the second of our 2 ocean monuments in our world, and we're going to kill the 3 Elder Guardians in there, and yeah, we'll see what we can do from there. I wanted to see if I could find essentially more sponges. That's kind of my goal, and also, need to keep out for a llama since we've got so many animals spawning on this side of the town. But yeah, it looks like we've got to clear out an angry iron golem as well now, which hopefully should have calmed down now that I've been killed, which makes everything so much better. I also started 2 sheep spawned in the pen, which was really, really cool, so I've just bred them up every time. You kind of have to do a little bit of a weird trick with my world because there's so many random mobs hanging off of cliff sides. Essentially what I have to do is I have to load the game up with the wheat in my hand stood next to the sheep, otherwise it gets the too many animals, can't do love mode, blah 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 blah. So yes, it looks like we're almost back to my stuff again. I wonder how much of it just fell in the ocean, and is this guy going to be still mad? You better not be. I want my stuff back. The downside to that is that was 29 levels down the drain, which is a shame, really. Right, what we're missing. So let's first of all, I didn't really have too much in my inventory. I did have a shovel, which means that's gone. We need to go and check the water in a second, obviously. All the maps is just, essentially, I need to go and remake 2 maps. One of them just actually wasn't finished. I didn't really think about it too much. Let's get that in there. Let's put the torches there. So if the golem slapped me, all my stuff would be in the water. So it's probably all down here. There's a map, and there's some elytra. I think that's it. No, I'm still missing a shovel. I definitely am. Because, the obsidian is what I had in my inventory. The maps is fine. So it looks like I'm just missing a shovel. So let's see if we can spot it. Aha, there it is. I knew I had a shovel. Okay, so it looks like I've got everything back in order again. Which one is the map for my hand? Map 1, I think it is. So if I put all 3 there, yes, that's map 1. But the one that I was looking at, I think is this one? Yes, map 15 is the map just straight north from here. And essentially that map it's never finished. So technically my map wall was never done. If you look at the sort of bottom left and sort of middle bottom as well, you can see that there are patches of that area that weren't finished. Which means the whole map wall that we built actually was never complete. So I guess we're going to go and head out and first of all do that. Then the blank map is to pick up the map in the top corner of my world. Essentially, I knocked it off when I was growing the tree a couple episodes ago, and I need to go and replace it. So I've actually borrowed the one off of here for that one there, but it's this one up here which we need to go and get back. The tree actually deleted it, which is quite frustrating. So we're going to head over to my base, first of all, grab some potions, come back, make some fireworks, and then we will head out. I think, actually, the fireworks might make more sense to do that first, because then I can show you the changes to the track. We're going to make a stack. I think a stack should be more than enough. 24 is, yeah, that's fine, because it makes like 72, and we don't need that many. There we go. Let's just fly over this. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, we recently added the melon farm up there, which we're actually going to take a look at in a minute as well, because I've made a couple changes to it. But essentially, I've had to redesign the track so that it covers all 3 of them, and actually comes back to unload right here again. Luckily, the southeast style track preferencing is actually allowing us to run this track properly. So essentially, this piece means that they'll run over it, and then, yeah, off it goes that way. Perfect timing, minecart. I'll just wait for you to come back again so we can see what we are doing. Let's see if he comes back. There it is, and it's unloading. It looks like it just chucked a couple of items in. Did add a couple more chests to this thing because it was starting to fill up again, and it looks like the filtering is actually organizing the chests for me, which is quite amazing. Yeah, it looks like we actually have double chests which are being organized, which is quite cool. I didn't think about that. I didn't realize the chests were going to organize completely. I mean, if I take the pumpkins out of there would be sugarcane in there. Oh, I like this. I mean, if I can... probably just drag that down there, I think, might be the easiest option. There we go, and we lost 14. Wow, there's so much stuff. I didn't realize how much sugarcane we had. That's amazing. Well, I mean, I guess it does make sense because all the chests were disorganized at one point. But now that they're all filtering back through again, I think it looks so much neater. I love that. That looks so cool. Which one had all the melons in? Was it this one down here? Yes, it is. So it looks like all the melons are going through to that one there. So if I grab those, I could just chuck those down there as well. I mean, I could probably save this thing some time if I just grab these and just chuck them down a couple layers. I mean, I think it will allow it to start sorting everything properly, I think. Yeah, look, it's filtering melons through again, which are probably in this hopper right here, which are in this chest, which is this hopper. Where actually are those melons that are being stored? Where are they coming from? Oh, they're coming from that hopper right there. But we'll leave this to it and let it fill back up again. But that does mean we are about halfway there now with the automatic farms that we need to do with our villagers, which is really cool, because it means eventually we can set up, well, like we said last episode with the monument, the emerald beacon is going to be a tough one, because that's 164 blocks of emerald. That's over 1,000 emeralds to gather up. So we're going to need to do some trading. Yes, I kind of moved it all down one, and I did note in the description of the melon farm episode that the rail track's in the wrong place. It actually needs to be under the plants themselves, not on where the melons grow, because the pistons will push the items onto the melons, which is really cool. We actually have 2 in here now, which is what I wanted to do in the first place, and as you can tell, perfect timing. It looks like the minecart immediately has just run through and picked everything up, which is really cool, and it looks like something else just immediately grew, which I think was that one. We don't really need that one there, so I'll just chuck those here. And underneath, it's kind of the same style. Let me get to the level where the tracks are. So it comes up, runs off in that direction. When it comes back, it goes up to the top, where eventually it will connect up to our main line, and then it goes back down again to pick up the rest of the stuff. So it looks like it actually has 2 full loops in it, which make more sense than what we were doing. Now, obviously, the tracks have been tidied up since, so obviously it comes up to here now, which is the dead end position. And eventually it will connect up to the track up here. I think what we'll have to do is create another junction, because you can't do a crossroads junction. I just don't think I'm capable of doing it. I don't think there's enough... I mean, you guess you could, but you would be very fiddly with what you have to highlight and stuff. Like, for example, if you wanted to go... Yeah, because it would have to come out this way, which means our track would have to come straight through here. I'll just do a quick explanation for this. Essentially, the track would have to... This would have to be a left-hand turn, and then when essentially you would recognize that you want to go... This would have to be a permanent left, but if you were going down that way, you would have to hit the yellow piece of wool. It would have to go the opposite way. And then, yeah, the tricky thing is trying to decide which way you want to go. Do you want to go left? Do you want to go straight? Or do you want to go right? Now, the other thing is we might eventually just leave it so that this track is automatically taking it back to the right-hand side. So maybe it only goes left and straight. But for now, it's not quite going to work that way because the 2 tracks are very, very complicated. And it means kind of messing with it too much that I don't want to today. So, now that I've talked over everything that's changed, and I seem to have wasted so much time, let's go and grab ourselves some potions, and then I will meet you out where the ocean monument is that we will be tackling today. So, in here, I'm wondering how much we've actually got left from our potions. I haven't brewed anything in a while, and I know that we should probably go over to the triple skeleton farm at some point as well, because I need to go and grab some healing potions from there and try and get that working. Night vision, water breathing. It's mainly the water breathing I'm looking for. Water breathing there. I think night vision underwater, I guess, is okay. We'll take some strength. I don't really need fire resistance, and speed will take as well. So let's head out to that ocean monument, and I will quickly fix that map 15 off camera, and we will be right back. Just a quick note that sometimes I am very silly and do forget things that I have been saying as I am doing it, but there, I've made some fireworks, now we can actually head out. So I'll meet you out at the Ocean Monument when I am there. Okay, so we have arrived at the Ocean Monument. It's just out there in the middle of nowhere. So let's potion ourselves up before we even get there, because I feel like 8 minutes should be more than enough to deal with sort of stuff like this. Night vision, water breathing. Okay, so strength is being applied. Speed's being applied, water breathing, and night vision, which means we shouldn't have a problem when we're under there. The only thing we've got to worry about now is fighting stuff, which, I mean, if I've got my fireworks on me, it would help. Here it is right here. This is the only second over two ocean monuments, and funnily enough, they're actually both in the same map, which is really convenient for me. The only downside is now being stuck in flight mode, which is making my screen really, really trippy. And it means that, looks like I'm going to have to start killing guardians sooner rather than later. But that's fine. I'm waiting for the inevitable effect that you get from the guardian. I've not got it yet. No mining fatigue yet, which is strange. Here he is. Hey, guy. How are you? You've not given me mining fatigue, and I'm really confused as to why not. There it is. Right, okay, we got to be careful with our health, though. We may have accidentally just let the Elder Guardian out, which is quite funny, but at least he rotates back to his original position again. Whereas his sponge, there it is. Okay, 1 down, 2 to go. We just got to be careful with, like, health, because these things are strong, and I've only got potatoes on me, which really don't give the best of health regen. So, we're going to try and walk the corridors and see what we can find. I mean, all these blocks are actually really quite nice. It's just a shame, really, that the mining fatigue in this game doesn't quite work as well as it should on the Java edition, because essentially you shouldn't be able to mine any blocks, which I find is a little bit cheaty with ocean monuments, because it makes them a lot simpler when you can break stuff and get around and try and kill stuff. For example, the guardians at the back, you can 3-tap them with my sword, which makes everything really easy. Looks like we have the gold room right here, which is always a nice thing to find. Especially considering that nowadays you don't get notch apples anymore, which means this sort of gold could actually be put to good use. See, you see it in there. It's 8 blocks of gold. Which, I mean, if you found this in like an ultra hardcore and things like that, this would be really cool. How many have I got? 6. There should be 2 on the floor, and there is. Okay, so I'm only at 6 hearts here, so we've got to be careful. There are 2 more Elder Guardians sat in the wings somewhere, so let's go and find those. That's not you. There we go. It's not you either. Right. The benefits of this is these things spawn continuously, so there's no real issue of, like, are we ever going to see any? There's another guardian right there. Oh, looks like we've got a big guy. We've got to be careful. Get out of his line of sight just a second. Get myself up to full health. The sponges, I think, are the useful thing in this game. I'm surprised that they didn't really make it so that you could guarantee more than just, well, 3. If you got you get one of these things. Okay, that's 2 down. So there's only 1 guy left now, which is probably going to be on the far side, considering we're in the outer part of the structure. So let's just fly up. So usually you will find your sponge rooms in this sort of section right here. So if we've got one, it'll be here in one of these on the side pieces. But I don't think we have by the look of it. It looks like the 2 rooms you would find sponges in are empty, which is a real shame, really. Which means that it looks like I'm going to be stuck forever in my world with, well, 4 sponges. Which I was hoping to find a full, like, 20 or something, which would have been really, really cool. But, alas, it looks like we're going to be stuck with what we have. I mean, it's not the worst thing, but I'd rather seen a lot more than I've got. Because it just makes me, like, doing water projects a little bit trickier. Like, for example, trying to drain one of these things would be really awkward. Especially with only 4. But yeah, just continuing to look around. I don't see any, because I think these are the rooms they should be in. And I mean, I could always go over to the second one and just double check while we go down here and kill the final dude, who is sat there in the floor. Okay, which makes this really easy for me to get to him then. If I just fly this way and dig in over here. There he is. Just the downside to being there with so many guardians. If I die now, this could end badly, so I've got to be careful. 2.5 hearts. the last guardian is down, which means that this temple has been raided. Now, the key thing about the other temple is I don't want to kill my guardians because I don't know if most of you know, but essentially what we're trying to do at some point is set up a museum of all the mobs, which means saving an Elder Guardian somehow, which means having to transport an Elder Guardian from that temple out to the other one. Right, let's just get out of here now. I've had enough of this. So it looks like we haven't got any sponge blocks in this one, which is really, really disappointing. But I want to just go and double check the other ocean monument as well. Looks like mining fatigue is making me very, very slow. I mean, can I actually just firework my way out of the water? I don't think I can. I think I'll have to hit land first. But yeah, this is probably the biggest jungle that I have in my world as well. So if we ever wanted to do a jungle project, we could probably come out to this area and do something, which would be really cool at some point. Considering I wanted to do one on Season 2 and never got round to it, I pretty much set up what I wanted to do for that and then essentially moved on to this world pretty much at that point that we ended up wanting to do it. And we were scouting for so long in that season of what we wanted to do. So the ocean monument on this map is much further along in the other part of our jungle. It's quite further down south on the next map, so I'm pretty blind. We're looking at probably like 600-700. There should be a jungle biome here on the left hand side. Looks like savannah by the look of it. I'm definitely on the right map, though, so it should be sort of in this ocean point right here. And there it is. Okay, so the jungle should be, yeah, loading in on this sort of section right here. So, you can tell that I've already been to this one by the fact that the top of the ocean monument is missing, which means, yeah, you can kind of tell. But I've got to avoid being killed by about 6 Elder Guardians now. Now, I don't remember which one I killed. I think I killed the one at the very top. So, where's the front part of this thing, considering... I'm looking for it. So it's over here. So the rooms with the sponges should be on the front here, as we just said. And it doesn't look like it. I don't particularly remember this one having any. The fact that the design on this one's slightly different to the rest of them. This is quite an old one. Yeah, it's just... This is where your guardian would sit up here. So then if I dig through this way... Yeah, these chambers are different on this one. By the fact that the sponge rooms should be here on these levels, but they seem to still have pillars in. Yes, and there's the mining fatigue bag. Brilliant. But like I said, we need to make sure that we don't kill both of them. We only kill one. I mean, looks like you're my sorry volunteer for just giving me mining fatigue right then. But luckily, my sword still hurts. And let's just go and double check that we still have another guy in this one. He should be on the far side, and it looks... Did I ever grab the gold out of this one? I guess I didn't. Which I guess that makes this a successful trip and a... sort of way towards our gold beacon. So I actually gained 16 blocks today, which is actually really good. So if we fly through here, this is another one of those really weird rooms. But then again, I'm not seeing any like loose sponges in any of these. Really wish that I had my world with all of the bajillion million ocean monuments that the world has. So we want to be on the far side over here. Sort of in this chamber point right there. If I've done this correctly, there should be an Elder Guardian in this chamber room. Or at least nearby. So it looks like we're about to run out of stuff. We need to get our water breathing on, otherwise we will start dying. There we go. Nope. There he is. Okay, so they've kind of just see what we've got. So there's the guy that we're going to be saving. Let me just... I don't want to fight you, dude. Just leave me alone. Thanks. And night vision so we can see. Looks like that guy's trapped there anyway, so that's fine. We'll just leave him to it. He's not done anything to us yet, but yeah. But it looks like that is a lost cause for sponges. It looks like our world is forever going to have 5, because we're not going to plan on ever killing the additional one that we have. Which is a shame, really, because I would have really liked, like I said earlier, a dozen or so of these things at least. So that I could actually do something with them. I wanted to do a water project at some point, but, I mean, the way things are going in my world, it looks like no woodland mansions because of how old it is. And now we have only 2 ocean monuments. But the benefit to the ocean monuments is, there is actually a bonus to this, is the fact that actually, when I do eventually go and make a guardian farm, is that we actually don't need to use either of those 2 monuments that we have in the world. Essentially, the spawning mechanics for Guardians is that they only need to be in the area where an ocean monument should be. Now, I've actually already identified an area where guardians are spawning in the ocean, which is really, really cool because I wanted to sort of look an island out up in that area already, which essentially just allowed me to do some little crazy stuff. We need to be going this way. We're actually on the side piece. We're actually pretty close to where the mesa biome is. Just need to keep blasting myself this way, though. Shouldn't be long now. We're 500 blocks out. We burnt through quite a few of the fireworks, though, but at least we got everything that we wanted, which was kind of what we needed. Looks like 700. We should be seeing our amplified stuff spawning in very, very soon. And there it is in the background. I love the fact that the classic world is actually generated first. I wonder where this goes. Being back in the middle of the town with night vision on seems to be really... It gives this sort of really strange effect off. But yeah, I think we've pretty much done with what we wanted to do this episode. Now, next episode, I'm going to look at making some wheat and carrot and potato farms, which I just need to kind of figure out where I want to put them for now. So for now, I think that's pretty much going to wrap this one up. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all enjoyed, and I guess I will see you all again in the next one. Bye-bye.